Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Maria. Today we are going to tap into the energy of the week of August 10th. I hope that you guys are all doing well. Please let me know in the comments how you've been, what's going on, and what you've been up to. What are you feeling? How are the energies for you? Let's see what's going on though. Week of August 10th. I did also post a rest of August energy update and read, super short, just an overview of kind of like what we can expect, but also too like how we can take accountability. I think that was a really big message, and I don't know if it came through that way, but as I reflect on it, I'm like, like it gave us a really good insight into how we can really show up for ourselves. So check that out. August 10th, week of August 10th. All right, we're overcoming the idea of how to receive physically, whether that is physically from another person in terms of the reciprocity we have in relationships, whether that's money, anything that's of physical and tangible value. We're rethinking how we approach those situations. And instead, it almost feels like instead of coming from a place of needing to like show up and prove ourselves and give. It's coming from a place of I have innate value and I'm showing up in that. I'm going to embrace the gifts that I have. I think I posted a short on YouTube a couple days ago. Maybe I'll link it below because it kind of talks about this, how money was never meant to justify us sharing our gifts, but our gifts are automatically able to build reciprocity with money. So if that's something that you feel like you're moving through, let me know, because I definitely have had my own fair share of thought processes around that recently, and also to the people I've been working with have also had that. So rethinking that, letting go of old ways of thinking about money in the sense of how we can receive it. And also this idea of it doesn't have to come in the form that we think it does. Like you might be planning something or planning to like build like a side hustle, or maybe you have your own business and you're thinking, oh, this is going to be the one thing that I feel like I can build up and make the most money from. But also too, like what's coming up is like I had this conversation with a client, and I told her essentially like, hey, like I know that you charge for this service, but what if we rethink this? And not that I forced her to make a decision, but what if we rethink this to build this community as a free community and then use that to kind of pollinate the rest of your offerings? And so just kind of opening our ability to rethink how that can happen for us and how we want to offer our gifts and be received, and how we can create opportunities for that without putting the idea of money as like almost a resistant, our own like self-sabotage or resistance to being able to receive and build from a place that is really authentic to ourselves. I know this is another personal story, but they just keep coming up. But I know for myself, something that I also had to work through was understanding that the gifts that I have, like the pattern recognition, the ability to tap into energy and be able to identify where it is that things might not be aligning, or things that people and others and myself can do to be able to align to the energy that we're actually saying we want. So matching words and actions and energy. When I was in friendships or relationships and connections, I would give that so freely because I felt like I had to earn the love. I felt like I had to prove myself to be able to receive. And then when it came to my business, it was like, oh no, I can't share these things unless I'm paid. So there was an incongruence there, and this is the exact energy that was misaligned, because how can that function properly? How can I have the contrast of that duality in terms of receptivity? Because it wasn't a congruent state of being for me. So I had to shift it, and so I actually became more aware of the reciprocity in my relationships, and then I also became more open to giving within my business. So if that's something that you're going through, take that as it resonates. The other two cards for the week are the Hierophant and the Temperance. So really settling into devotion of self, devotion of your gifts, devotion of where you want to be investing your time, your energy, your money, your attention, your love, and creating that like habit of consciously being aware of those choices every chance you get. Self-compassion is important, so making sure that if there are moments where you feel like you have abandoned yourself or maybe not listened to yourself fully, allowing that to be, because that's just as important. It's a practice, right? We don't become this version of ourselves just by blinking our eyes and wanting to be somebody else, which comes with the temperance. It's that understanding of this balance is something that we work through in cycles, and that's okay. But I'm also getting with the Hierophant and the Temperance card of like, this is to do with your work for most of you, or commitment around some sort of physical connection. Reminder that love and money and our energies within that, and our physical connections and our business relations around money are so connected. So connected. So the patterns and the energy, just like I was saying about how I didn't expect reciprocity in my relationships, but over expected reciprocity in my business, like things like that can be coming up. But yeah, the commitment to showing up for those things, for the relationship that you want, the love that you want, the money that you want, and doing so in a way that is connected to God, source, universe, or if that's something you believe in, and doing so from such a grounded place of just listening to what feels good, what aligns to you, what aligns to the future version of you, and making those decisions now so that you can integrate that. Like, the future is not separate. And that's coming with the temperance. There's a lot of messages here, but I'm sure one of them will probably resonate. But anyway, I feel like this is good. I feel like that's a lot of information. I feel like the energy here is all about just devotion and rethinking these patterns, rethinking money, love, relationships, and applying them and how we want to show up in that. So very similar to the overall August energy. So make sure to check that out, like I said. Otherwise, please like, comment, subscribe so we can continue building the channel. I think we've had over 100 new subscribers in the past week, so thank you everyone who's joined. And if you'd like to work with me, I'll leave that link below, but please take care of yourselves for this week, and I'm sending you so much love. We'll talk to you soon.